Hey there and welcome to this overview video where we are celebrating the launch of this little guy, PARROT, our newest freebie. We are extremely excited to show off this multi-modal delay tool because it's really not just a delay, but also a great way to bring some aesthetic character and texture to your sound. Most delay filters provide a single echo, but with PARROT, you can select up to 3 independent delay modes applied to certain frequencies in parallel, all while flying together smoothly. So it's basically like having 3 delay filters but in one, which allows you to get creative in a whole new way. In this video, we'll take a look at some very cool ways to use PARROT. We really hope you're gonna love this bird just as much as we do. So let's get right into it. Let's start with a quick tour on the interface. At first glance, we see that the 3 independent bands are turned on by default, and the overall mix down at the footer is on 50%. Behind this easy looking interface, we have quite some features to take full control over PARROT. In the middle here, you can check out and move around your 3 frequency bands. To the left and to the right of it, you can control the incoming and outgoing signal. Right under it, you can enable key tracking to make PARROT follow your MIDI information, link bands together for easy editing, and enable or disable output clipping to tame audio peaks. In the middle part here, we have our controls per band. At first, you can drag these bands around just like in the bigger display. You can also right-click this to switch to a different slope, 6, 12, or 24 decibel, or wide. You can also do this by clicking the button in the middle. Next to the bandpass display, we can adjust that band's gain, and under it you can solo and mute the band or change the band's MIDI channel. Then we have the balance slider here to let you adjust where you want your delays to take place. You can either put it to the left or you can put it to the right. You can right-click the slider to change from stereo delay to ping pong, where you can freely adjust where you want the ping pong effect to happen. And then if you right-click again, you can toggle the no delay mode, so you just add extra texture or character to the target frequencies. On the right of that, we can control the feedback percentage of the effect that's happening. Next up, we can select here what type of delay you want. It's on a straight stereo delay by default. Then we have a dotted delay or triplets here, which we can set on a time from 1 to 64. But you can also choose the free delay, which goes up to 1500 milliseconds. The real magic part is where you can choose and modify your effect type. So clicking on the name, you get the effect library full of options. Let's choose a pitch shift as an example. In its own display, you can drag your chosen effect around to adjust how you want your effects to sound. Of course, this also has an independent mix, so you can control how much of that effect will be audible. Then at last we have our signature utility footer, where you can toggle the help button to read up on the controls. You can change from left-right to mid-side processing, oversample up to 8 times, adjust the overall mix, phase flip through various phase modes, the diff button, also known as delta, to listen to the difference between input and output, and the bypass and left or right only bypass. Now it's time to make some cool noises. I've got a basic folded saw bass loop ready, and we're going to give it a good twist with some sassy character using our 3 modal bands. First, I will mute band 2 and 3, so we can focus on the blue band here. I'd love to give this bass some overall dispersion texture without delay, so I will right-click on this blue band and choose for a wide range. Then cycle through this menu by right-clicking till I get the no delay. Then I select disperser from the effect menu, and I will drag it around in the effect panel and play with the mix to create something to taste. Then let's prepare our second band, the yellow one. where we ideally want some groove to happen to this bass loop. So I will first unmute it. I want the slope to be a little bit narrow, so I'll put it on 12 dB, and we want it ideally to happen somewhere on the low end. I'll put the feedback down to about 10%, and we'll keep it this way. And then I will choose saturation and maybe get it a little bit down and get this all the way down because we don't want that much of the effect to happen. And then we can see what we're doing. Alright, that sounds pretty cool. And then we can choose a third band. So let's get onto that one as well. So with the last band, I'd love to give this bass a little bit of texture on the high end without a delay. So let's go for no delay mode. Alright. So now that we gave this bass a little groove and texture, let's move on to mess around with a nice hi-hat pattern to fit it with. Groovy. Alright, well, I hope you can see how PARROT not only gives a fully controllable delay at 3 frequency bands, but also brings these awesome textures to your target frequencies. So I went along and added this little pad to the basic loop, so it sounds a little bit more full, and then I can record a vocal sample to play around with as a last example. Are you gonna fly away with me? Thank you so much for your interest in PARROT. There is so much more to show, like all the other effects and things like key tracking. But it's been long enough like this, and I hope you get a pretty good idea of what PARROT can do for your sound. If you have any questions, leave a comment down below.